What's up, peoples? I'm here. I am here. I was gonna put up my, please stand by, video or slide, but I don't want y'all to panic or anything like that. Just working on a couple things. What's going on, everybody? D Almighty. What's up, man? Yeah, blame most. Yeah, blame. That's the hashtag blame most, man. I'm with it, man. I'm with it. I want all the smoke. What's going on, D? It's my homie. We about to do the damn thing, man. Hey, yo, I'm gonna let you know, bro. You probably gonna be the last mug that follow me after the day, man. Oh man, cause all the X bots, they gonna go into exile today. They going into exile tonight. They gonna feel like they got hit with Trump's wall, man, after this one, straight up. Big ups to everybody listening either live or recorded. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy MM2K back again with another one. I got a lot of material to go over in a little bit of time. I had a real cram weekend, and I didn't expect it to be this bad. You know what I mean? And I want to tweet some of this out. I'm working on some PCs. I'm doing some things for my peoples at PNTS. I'm trying to further do some things for the broadband bullies. My contribution towards it, and I thought I'd have a freer weekend. Then it's the kids, everything, man. It's crazy. It's crazy out here. But I'm gonna tweet this out. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I hope everybody had a good weekend. Temperature dropped where I'm at a little bit. Officially, I can't even spell. Officially live. We gonna break down the whole Terry Myerson myth. Come join me now. Yeah, we got some big things coming, man. Definitely. Okay. We got that. I want to put this also. Copy link to the tweet. I'm gonna send it out to the peoples. I'm sending it out to the peoples. Boom. Like that. And then also, the last thing I want to do is let me do one of these joints. You say my email didn't work. Come on, man. Come on, bro. You killing me, bro. You killing me out here, man. It's my son. Big ups. Wait for Wise 2K, man. He's gonna really kill it out on these gaming streets, man. But he's always trying to dupe me. He's always hitting me up for gaming ducats. I asked him to do me a favor. He come up with these cockamamie excuses. But that's all right, man. That's how kids do you, man. But he's going check him out, man. He's going to tear it up in these gaming streets, man. He done took what Pop did and took it to 1,000, man. So watch out for him. All right, I want to put this in the Discord. So I need to do one of these thingies. Cause I hate putting Discord on my computer. When I put Discord on my computer, it just dings and dings and dings, and that irritates the hell out of me. So what I'm doing, my friends, is I'm taking this. All right, let me do that. Share, copy link. We're gonna get to it. Give me like 10 seconds. We're gonna get to it. Do not worry about it, my friends. Do not worry about it. All right. And lastly, I want to take. Where's the hell is Discord? I got to do it through my phone, man. All that dinging and ringing and shit, it irritates the hell out of me. All right, so watch this work. We're going to drop it in that puppy. I'm going to spam the hell out of the Discord. Next gen going to boot me off, man. Because this is that real deal Holyfield shit right here. We're going to drop it. Drop it! All right. So, y'all can see the title. Right? And I thank everybody for joining. Oh, you know what? Let me do a couple more things. I'm sorry. Let me just put it in a couple of Facebook groups too. See, man, there needs to be a magic button for all this, man. This takes too much to set up, and I can't do it until I actually start to stream. You know what I'm saying? So, share. Hold on. I'm gonna share this too. I'm gonna share this to a couple groups. Share. And when Microsoft, when Facebook took away your ability to post to groups, that's bad. I don't like that. All right, so I'm just gonna go to a couple of these groups. I'm gonna go to Bang Bang. I'm gonna put this in Bang Bang. All right. We're gonna post this in Bang Bang. Boom. I'm gonna post this in. I'm sorry, people. I'm really sorry. We're gonna post this in. We're gonna do this in Gamers Haven. Just one more. Just one more. Then I want to put it in that Xbox. Ooh. Yeah, I want to put it in this one. Boom. 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 And we're gonna hit the epic joint. Okay. Boom. We good to go. The finest. The finest. I don't know if you're down with MF Doom, but that's one of my favorite tracks from him. The finest. What's up, man? What's going on, bro? All right, so let's do the damn thing. I did all my advertisement and my spamming. Y'all see the title, man. Xbox fanboys forced to admit blaming Terry Myerson for Xbox One issues is stupid. Here's why I say that. I appreciate you, the finest. Thank you for sharing, man. This is gonna be a doozy. Everybody's gonna be brought to reality. Because here's the thing. And I kind of parsed the middle a little bit. Just to give you a little bit of background. When I came into these gaming streets, my first thing was, I'm an Xbox gamer. I see value in the system. So all the people out there saying, oh, Xbox is trash, Xbox ain't worth it, blah, blah, blah. That was over the top and ridiculous. Were there issues? Yes, absolutely. But someone like my co-host on the weekly podcast that we do, is called Scrampunks. It's on this channel right now, Wednesdays, 9:30. We got a special announcement about that and some special notations about the next show. You know what I'm saying? That one we're going to get into soon, but here nor there. My co-host TRS, he's not into all this intricate stuff when it comes to gaming. He just wants to play the game. He knows what he likes, and he wants to play what he likes. And and the best place to play for him is the Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Even he doesn't even have an X, and he feels that way. So it ain't even about the best looking graphics. He's not a graphics whore. He makes fun of me all the time on the show. It's because, number one, that's where his friends are at. He likes the Xbox on Live experience better. You know what I'm saying? And in general, in history, Xbox is known to market the type of games or influence the type of games that he's used to, that he likes. You know what I'm saying? The Bethesda type of games, opposed to what Sony does. And actually, he used to be a pony, but last generation, he transitioned over to Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Because he saw the direction PlayStation was going. He didn't care for their titles. He cared for what Microsoft was trying to bring into fruition, the footprint that they had. And even though they're not doing so much this generation, it's already up to par to him as far as the online capabilities, the ecosystem. And he's just happy playing his Bethesda games, his ESO Onlines, his Fallouts, whatever the case may be, the Skyrim reboot with the mods now that you can use. You know what I'm saying? He's a Bethesda fanboy like your boy. And also he likes, he's a big Defiance nut. And now he's getting, not Defiance, Destiny, and now he's getting into Defiance. So he likes to play a lot of these MMO type of console games, and all of his friends that he plays with are on Xbox. So that's another reason. So the system has value. Even if this generation, it hasn't done what it's done in previous generations, because of the things that it was able to do and what it's been able to establish as far as its gaming footprint, it does have value. And that's all I was arguing in 2017. But you got to grow as a contributor, and you got to look at things from 5,000 feet. And as I looked at things from 5,000 feet, even though the system was, had value, that didn't speak of on its future. It had value then, but it didn't speak of where it was going. And as I examined where it was going, even in late 2017 with the promotion of Phil Spencer and the comments from Satya Nadella, that pumped my brakes and made me realize, hey, what the hell is this going on right here? Satya is talking all this jazz, how he's not really thinking gaming is part of the core. Phil doesn't seem like he's going for the AAA bangers again, that influenced the community, the gaming community, and left a footprint like no other as far as consoles are concerned. And I'm not liking this. So as time went on and on and on, and even after the Xbox One X release, I was really dismayed. And because of my dismay, I'm seeing a lot of smoke and mirrors and not enough things coming to fruition as far as the new Microsoft direction. I would be fine with the Microsoft direction if they took what was successful from the previous generations, cut out the fat and some of the stuff that wasn't working, right? For not just them, but for the gamers. You got to do, you have to do fanfare. A lot of the rest of the talk here is not going to be about Sony. But one thing I will say about Sony is whether you like their titles or not, their fans like it. And whether it's going to be uber successful or not, they're going to keep bringing it out. They're about that volume, And sometimes people say they put out too much volume so their stuff is watered down. But that's here nor there. That's what their fans want. That's what they give. They're willing to make that investment to keep up that mind share. And Microsoft, I get it. You had to cut back the fat a lot because you came out with this powerful console, whatever, but you cut back too much. And it seems like that you completely switched directions. And as far as the AAA bangers, I don't hear that speak enough. I just hear 5 new studios. And to me, that sounds like 5 red empty solo cups in the middle of the desert, and I'm dying of thirst. I don't see no substance in these cups yet. And until I see the substance, you don't get any stripes from me. And that's sad because you've already had an established foundation, and all you had to do was just build from that. The AAA sci-fi bangers which is fanfare to your community, and then you can add the Sea of Thieves or whatever, the service-based titles on top of that. That's fantastic, but you got to be willing to do the fanfare, and they're not doing that, and that's their problem. Now, in light of all this issues, some of us have brought this to light. Some of us are trying to damage control it and Phil and making excuses for Phil. Now, first it was Donnie D destroyed the Xbox brand. Donnie D's been gone for 8,000 years, for decades and decades. So now that they can no longer feasibly blame Donnie D, they're now going to blaming someone closer to the timeline, which is Terry Myerson. And I'm here to let you know that you can no longer use that as an excuse. That is no longer feasible. Terry Myerson is not the demonic the demonic creature going around eating babies and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Ransacking villages. It's not going to work like that. Here's why. Let me just give you an example. All right. And one thing I forgot, you know what I'm saying? I'm hitting it off with the hard tracks right now. So we're gonna add the dramatic overtone with this track. I'm really digging this one. Hold on. Let's go back. And if it's too loud, y'all let me know. We got this in the loop. Turn it down just a little bit. I'm a little fearful, even though it's boosting it could just be my headset. Okay. All right. So here's the deal, my friends. We got that all set. And if it's too loud, let me know. Let me give you an example. All right, so my son, a little bit personal MM2K story. My son's been in and out of trouble. You know what I mean? He want to be Thug Matrix. Yeah, you know I mean, this cat drives me crazy. And I grew up in a rough situation, but he hasn't. He's been spoiled. It's always the spoiled ones that want to live a life that they want to be the Malibu's most wanted. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be honest, that's my son. So we finally got him on the right path. So we finally opened him up a bank. He got a job. We opened him up a bank account. He's not experienced with all this stuff. He's a young cat. You know what I mean? So we take him to the bank. And while we're sitting there at the bank, my son, he's asking me a lot of goofy questions. What's going on with this? How this going to work? Am I going to get a card? All this crazy stuff, right? So I'm like, just calm down, man. Well, everything's going to get explained. While we wait to open a bank account, somebody comes out and they say, hey, you want some food and some water and some coffee? You know, they're bringing us all this stuff. My son's a greedy cat. You know, he's sitting there in this place he has no familiarity with. So he's like, yeah, bring it on, man. They bringing sandwiches and all this other stuff. A lot of the snacks and stuff that they brought out, and the food, he didn't care about. Just stuffed it in his bag, like, you know, I'll eat this or whatever, give it to somebody later. You know, he's just that type of dude. But the fact that they was offering something free, fresh and new, for partaking in business with them, they didn't even know what the hell we wanted. You know what I mean? All like that, yeah. With that company, he felt value. That's the first time he experienced something like that. He felt value, and he was like, he turned to me. He didn't even know what the hell was going on. He said, "Dad, you made a good choice." And I was like, "Okay, son." And the reason why I bring that story up is this is what Xbox has done well. This is what they have not done well as of late. And whose fault is that? Where did they go wrong? There are misconceptions of the chronological order that all these bad things happen that leads to the perception of who's responsible. Now, a lot of this we hear from the gaming enthusiasts because Terry Myerson, again, wasn't always the friendliest to them. He was a shrewd businessman and he was a Microsoft dude. And therefore, he showed bias towards Microsoft. Now, on the other hand, you have a good number of Windows people that loved him for his effectiveness in a lot of areas. They called Terry the Fix-It Man. Now, was he always perfect? No. And did he always fix it? No. You know what I'm saying? But he got a lot of fanfare. Hold on. I think I done played the wrong motherfucking track. But with that being said, Terry Myerson was that dude that had that Windows background. I'm sorry, I had to take that down. I had the wrong track up. The hell? Alright. That's the right one. So with that being said, because he had that background, and when he acquired when he acquired Xbox, he wasn't too enthused about them. My people's Olutondi said it was a little too loud. Okay, let me bring it down a little bit. Hopefully that's cool. Let me know if that works. If that's too low. All right. So there's always two sides to every story. So to put the roles in proper perspective, I'm going to go over everything in chronological order on why you cannot effectively blame Terry Myerson anymore for the Xbox woes. Was he the biggest Xbox enthusiast? No. When he got the business, in all likelihood, he was focused on Windows. He was asked by Satya Nadella to fix some Windows issues and to make it service-based, which a lot of experts have said it was a hell of a task. You'll hear that. And so his mind was focused on Windows. So was he the biggest enthusiast of Xbox at the time? No. But does that mean that he was trying to slash the money and do all this crazy stuff people were saying? Absolutely not. And I'm going to go over that right now. All right? So first and foremost, I want to put everything in proper perspective. Okay? First and foremost, let's do this. I want to do this because I want the chat to be able to see everything too. We're going to go to Exhibit A. All right. As we go over Exhibit A, I want y'all to know what this is. This is when Phil was first talked about as being the leader at Microsoft. Phil Spencer. When he was first promoted, they got rid of Donnie D. All right. While he's talking about, Phil Spencer's being talked about as far as getting promoted, Satya also talks about the transitions from phones and tablets and all this other stuff. These are from Satya's words. So this is from Engadget from back in that time. As you can see, it was March 31st, 2014. Xbox gets a new leader at Microsoft, Phil Spencer. Okay. So they talk about his promotionals, all this other stuff. Satya Nadella also says he's reporting directly to Myerson, and Spencer's new job isn't coming with new responsibilities for no good reason. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella says Spencer's new multi-faced role will help ensure we continue to do great work across the Xbox business and bring more of the magic of the Xbox team to all form factors, including tablets, PCs, and phones. In so many words, he sees Spencer's new job as unifying the disparate pieces of the Xbox business as Microsoft. A bold, risky move by the nascent CEO, but one that could pay off enormously for the still embattled Xbox division. All right. Now, why is that important? What's up? Art Boy Adrian, big ups to you in the chat. So why is that important? That's important because look at the date. March 31st, 2014. The assumption is that a few years ago, Phil Spencer came out of nowhere with this cloud technology because he's such the grand businessman. He came out with this not the cloud technology, but he came out with this Game Pass thing. This was something that he thought about because it was part of his brainchild that he developed on his own to help spur the Xbox business together. This is something that he's thinking about. That was his brainchild. And the fact of the matter is, no, absolutely not. From the very beginning, Satya Nadella has been going to all of the individual companies and asking them, A, why should they exist? And 2, how can they integrate AI and cloud technology into their products and services? And if they can't do both of those things, then they're on the chopping block. And he gave them X amount of time to do that. So as he approached Phil Spencer, not Phil Spencer approaching him, as he approaches Phil Spencer, he wants Phil Spencer to put that in the mind. So of course the first thing they think about is phone, tablets, and all that other stuff. This was not Phil Spencer's brainchild. Period. That's Exhibit 1. Exhibit 2. While all this is happening, Satya Nadella reveals that Xbox is not a core part of Microsoft businesses, says the CEO. Title right here, okay? Now let me scroll down to the meat and potatoes. Get out of here trying to get on my fame with that pop-up. All right. Here he goes. Now, this was July 15, 2014. Okay, Satya again. Now Satya is very disciplined in his messaging. So he doesn't come out of, as you'll see over these exhibits, he's very disciplined in his messaging. Nadella appears to be taking more of a calculated approach than his predecessor, Steve Ballmer, and how Microsoft is defined and what its mission needs to be. All right? Just wanted to make sure y'all can follow where I was reading this from. Essentially, the new CEO is dialing back Ballmer's attempt to transform Microsoft into a devices and services company and focusing on productivity across mobile and the cloud. So again, if you said, oh no, this isn't what Satya didn't come up with this, Phil did. Again, as they're talking about Microsoft as a whole, Satya is bringing forth his disciplined messaging. More recently, we have described ourselves as a devices and services company. While the devices and services description was helpful in starting our transformation, we now need to own in on our unique strategy. At our core, Microsoft is the productivity and platform company for the mobile first and cloud first world. Let me highlight that for you if you missed that. Again, at the core, Microsoft is the productivity and platform company for the mobile first and cloud first world. We will reinvent productivity to empower every person and every organization in the planet to do more and achieve more. So again, was not Phil's idea. It was Satya. This was back in July 15th, 2014. Okay? That's when Satya said this. Here's what he also had to say about Microsoft at the time. As a large company, I think it's critical to define the core. but it's important to make smart choices on other businesses in which we have fundamental impact and success. The single biggest digital life category measured in both time and money spent in a mobile-first world is gaming, okay? We are fortunate to have Xbox in our family to go after this opportunity with unique and bold innovation. Microsoft will continue to vigorously innovate and delight gamers with Xbox. Xbox is one of the most revered consumer brands with a growing online community and services and raving fan base. All right. So he goes on and on saying nice things about Xbox. However, where's that line at? He's saying nice things about Xbox, but again, I'm trying to find a part where he says they're not a core. Oh, okay, I passed it up. Xbox isn't that far from the core, he told a publication. We could do a few more things than the core, but the point is, you've got to have a culture to do it. I want us to be comfortable to be proud of Xbox, to give it air to cover of Microsoft, but at the same time not focus it with our core. Meaning, it's not part of our core business at the time. He did not have faith in the Xbox brand being within the core because he did not see come to fruition the cloud services on mobile, remember, on mobile devices and other portable platforms, not for consoles, not for AAA material, but stuff that can be ported to mobile. You've heard that time and time again. Remember that, write that down, that's very essential, all right? Number 3, so you think, everybody says, you know what What made Phil Spencer so goddamn important in Satya's eyes, right? This is where y'all need to shut the hell up, Xbox fanboys. This is where y'all start unsubscribing to your boy. But you know, the truth got to be let free. So everybody comes to the assumption that Microsoft looked at Phil Spencer being the gem of the company as far as gaming is concerned, and why he needed a seat at the big boys table because of one particular acquisition that he was solely responsible for, him and Matt Booty, I think. Or no, Phil was solely responsible for, and that is Minecraft, okay? So let's go to Exhibit 3. This is where the pain begins. Microsoft officially owns Minecraft and developer Mojang now. Okay, Microsoft acquires Minecraft around November 6, 2014. It was a $2.5 billion acquisition, right? Okay. Very important for the company. Really nothing to read from this article, but it just talks about the acquisition. That happened in November 6, 2014. Now, this is what I want everybody to realize. What's up, Ray for the Emperor? I appreciate you in the chat. This is what I want everybody to realize. Do you see this state? This is why I said the chronological order of events has been confused by Xbox for their own benefit to fit their own narrative. But for those that have a business's sense, that understand how Microsoft works or understand how any Fortune 500 company works, this garbage makes no sense. Look at that timeline. November 6, 2014. That is the same year that Phil got his promotion, and he was reporting to Terry Myerson. So, to sign a $2.5 billion deal, who else had to be involved? If the excuse is Terry Myerson was holding the purse strings, he was holding the purse strings and wasn't giving nobody no money. So if Terry Myerson was controlling the purse strings, who had to sign off on this deal? Terry Myerson. Okay? Terry Myerson. Let that soak in, Xbox. Let that reality soak in. Phil couldn't do this deal by himself. No Fortune 500 company would let somebody that reports to an executive just sign a $2.5 billion deal by themselves. Nor would they just jump ahead and go to Satya. Because that's another excuse. I can hit him right now. Oh, he had to jump over Terry Myerson's head to go to Satya. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. There is no proof of that. Y'all ain't got the receipts on that. And I got the receipts where I'm going to show you why that absolutely makes no sense. If y'all can't have it both ways. You can't blame Terry Myerson for when deals weren't cut, but say Terry Myerson was not there when deals were cut. Simply put, Terry Myerson was involved in one of the biggest acquisitions in Xbox history, which was the acquisition of Minecraft. Period. Xavier Bay in the chat, throwing the rose petals. I'm only halfway done, bruh. Follow me. Follow me. You just sit there. I know you twitching in your seat, ready breaking windows and throwing tables. My man Xavier Bay, broadband bullets. You watch me. All right. I'm going to Exhibit 4. Exhibit 4. Microsoft is undergoing another huge reorganization to sell more cloud subscriptions and less software. All right. So there is an interview that I don't have access to, and everybody that's listening, I got a decent crowd in the chat. I'm willing to do this. Here, I'm putting my email address in the chat right now. If you can find this interview, no. I'm gonna give y'all this one, because that one is, this is the one I answer more. All right, that's my email in the chat. If y'all can find this interview that I'm about to mention, I'll buy y'all free. I'll get y'all a code to a free $60 game, at least $60 or less of your choice. Straight up, no bullshit. You hear me right now. This is being streamed live on air. The interview was with Phil Spencer, because I remember seeing it. I think it was during an E3 2017 where he says the name of the game is selling less hardware, more software. All right? Less hardware, more software. That's what he said. So in 2017, it was evident that Microsoft really wasn't focused on selling consoles or really supporting, per se, the console business. They gave up on it. To further cement that, again, did that come from Phil? No, that came from Satya. That came from Phil's puppet master right now at the time, Satya Nadella. And he said this around the same time. Phil said that around the same time Satya was saying this. Microsoft is undergoing a huge reorganization to sell more cloud subscriptions and less software. All right, let's scroll down. See if I can find the part. See if I can find Satya's quote. I can't find it right now, but while I'm looking for it, he just basically says that we are transitioning. We're transitioning from making Windows or Premiere platform, and we just want subscriptions, cloud-based subscriptions, and services to be our mantra, regardless of what industry we're in. So then again, this whole cloud-based thing wasn't based off of purse strings being taken because of Terry Myerson, and then they realized they had to think of a new way to do it. No, this has been Satya's plan from the beginning. For him to choke the purse strings on traditional console gaming practices, sell less hardware, more software, right? And they transition to the cloud-based gaming, which again is not going to support AAA gaming, which was revealed in a Sea of Thieves interview, that big ups to Crap and Mooch they did with one of the people that was part of the development team at Rare, that the reason why they went with the less AAA like visual setting is because it's easier to transport to mobile devices. There wasn't no accident that they said that. It is all part of Satya's master plan. So when we hear stuff like the reason why we don't have the AAA bangers is because of Terry Myerson, because he closed off the purse strings, that's baloney. Cutting off those purse strings to AAA bangers has been Satya's plan all along. All of the traditional businesses that the company has done has been choked off. Let me scroll up and show you another thing. You see the stock price? This stock price is over 250% higher than what it was when Satya Nadella became the CEO of Microsoft. That's why it's working, and he's going to keep doing it. So right now they are focused on, they're not focused on fidelity. They're not focused on AAA. They are focused on games that are portable to the cloud services for mobiles and tablets and stuff like that. And they could care less about the console. They could care less about the console gamer. The console gamer will have access to stuff too. But as far as you getting that fanfare, that AAA fanfare, for those that want that, everything is pointing to that being purged. Exhibit 5. Okay? So again, remember that Microsoft, again, had appointed Terry Myerson to direct Phil Spencer. The common Xbox theme is that Phil Spencer was strangled by Terry Myerson. That's why all the stuff in 2016 got cut. All the AAA titles that they were focused on in 2016 got cut, which we can smack that away. It wasn't working. It wasn't portable to clouds and I mean, it wasn't portable on the cloud and all. It wasn't focused on the cloud. So any financial investment that wasn't focused on transportable services, service-based games. That's why that term came out of nowhere from Phil Spencer. The service-based titles, it wasn't getting any money. Okay, period. So with that being said, you also got the Xbox saying that, Terry Myerson had Phil reporting to him. Terry Myerson didn't want to make the investments with Phil. He was talking all this negative stuff about Xbox. He was saying all this bad stuff about Xbox and making Xbox look bad. And you know what I'm saying? Phil was responsible for the biggest acquisition in Xbox history alone, which again we debunked, which was Minecraft. Terry Myerson want no parts of that. You know what I'm saying? Phil is just being hamstrung. He's being beat into a fetal position in the corner of his office. Phil, poor Phil. I want you to remember that as I go to this next tab. Okay. And that also that Phil, because of Minecraft and all of his individual efforts, was considered to be very important to the Xbox senior brass. Exhibit number 5. Let me see here. Phil gets a big promotion. September 19th, 2017. Now, when did he get his big promotion? This is Exhibit 6. Or this is part of Exhibit 5. He got his big promotion after Xbox had pushed Game Pass, had introduced Game Pass. All right. Now, this article is a little bit later, but it talks about the success of Game Pass. That's why I have it up. You know what I'm saying? How Phil said that they're seeing obvious success with the game. Here it goes. Microsoft's Xbox lead, Phil Spencer, sees both sides of this argument. An argument about the lion's share of Game Pass now is going to affect the community. However, he says he has to. He's the guy in charge of making Xbox Game Pass a success. He's also a guy who plays games. He wants to see the development partners to be happy. He also wants to see Xbox One owners to be happy. Blah, 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 blah. Now, where is it where he says Phil Spencer also talks about the success of Xbox Game Pass in this article, so that's why I brought it up. Xbox Game Pass is really successful. They start toting the success of Xbox Game Pass and how it's doing very well, right? Xbox Game Pass, I think, was released. When was that? It was released in January of 2017, right? After Xbox Game Pass, which is a cloud-based service, right? After Xbox was released in January of 2017, guess what happens? After Xbox was released in January 2017, guess what happens? Exhibit 6. Xbox boss Phil Spencer just got a big promotion and now report directly to CEO Satya Nadella. So it wasn't him bringing in Minecraft. It was him finally doing what Satya Nadella wanted him to do all the time. I go back to Exhibit 1. Exhibit 1, new Microsoft CEO, Satya Nadella, says Spencer's new multi-face role will help ensure we continue to do great things across the Xbox business and bring more of the magic of Xbox to all form factors, including tablets, PCs, and phones. That was back in March 31st, 2014. He don't get the promotion till September 19th, 2017. Minecraft was acquired the same year that he got promoted. What happened? Why so long to give him this boost and not have him report to Terry? Because he finally brought to fruition the cloud-based service and integration that Satya Nadella wanted with Xbox. And it was successful. So because it was integrated and it was successful, Terry Myerson's job was done. Terry Myerson was simply put into place to overwatch Phil Spencer, to watch the budget, make sure they stay clean and lean and mean. Now, this is the real hammer. If Terry Myerson was so responsible for putting Xbox in a negative light, hence that's why he was moved from being any part of Xbox, then explain this to me. After Phil was hired and gave it a seat at the big boys table, let's see here. See if I can find this paragraph. All right. Before the promotion, Spencer reported to Terry Myerson, the Executive Vice President of Windows and Devices Group. We're hearing that after this change, Spencer's gaming team will still work closely with the group, relying on its HR, sales, and marketing teams? So let me get this right, Xbots. Let me get this right, Xavier Bay in the chat, Damage Controller. That Terry Myerson was so irreputable. He was so horrible. He was so dishonest that they realized the works of Phil Spencer by himself. Even though he, on his own, acquired Minecraft in 2014 and get no goddamn promotion till 2017 after Game Pass was seen as a success. Once Game Pass was seen as a success, later that year he got his promotion. Why? Because he finally integrated what Satya wanted him to integrate all along. That's why he got his promotion. So, and part of that too was because he was able to work with Satya and let Satya know that Terry Myerson was giving the Xbox brand a bad name. Xavier Bay, what I need you to do then is explain to me why. And I want to see your answer in the chat. And I will actually give you a link to this to explain to me why. If Terry Myerson was so horrible to the Xbox brand and he was doing all this rogue stuff by himself, why the hell, after Phil got his promotion, would they still be relying on Terry's team for HR, sales, and marketing? If you have somebody that is lying about an essential brand of your company, why would you still have them handle the marketing? I want to hear you Xbox's response to that. I need to hear your answer. Hit me up. Hit me up in the chat. Do something, goddammit. It absolutely makes no sense. So was Terry, and I still got a couple more exhibits. So was Terry Myerson the devil running around to different villages eating babies and kidnapping women? No. Did he really care about the Xbox brand? No. But because he was on the executive board when Satya took over, Satya was more familiar with him than he was with Phil Spencer. Satya just went to the person that he thought it made more sense to manage and monitor Xbox, which they thought was a mess at the time with all the press and the investments and all that other stuff. They just went to him. Satya Nadella went to Terry Spencer to oversee that whole process. During Terry Myerson overseeing that whole process, yes, did Scalebound get cut? Yes. Did Fable get cut? But the question is why, and I'll get into that a little bit. And also in relation to that, what also happened? Minecraft, the biggest deal, one of the biggest deals in Xbox history was signed. I also believe that Havoc was acquired during that time. And also, Game Pass was put into fruition with the Windows team help. You know, a lot of the updates for Xbox with the Windows team help. Two of the biggest things that put the spotlight on Phil Spencer, which had to be approved by Terry Myerson. So I'm going to break it down to you how this Fortune 500 thing works. Sometimes you get managers that are responsible for another line of business that have to be responsible for another line of business that they really don't care for. But they still have to do their job. So at bare minimum, are they giving a lot of effort to things? To all the little small tangibles? No. And especially in a situation like this with Satya Nadella hacking and slashing and telling businesses, you got to show me why you should exist. Terry Myerson wasn't trying to see anything in the red because Satya Nadella wasn't trying to see anything in the red. Terry Myerson was not trying to see anything that wasn't cloud-based because Satya Nadella wasn't trying to see anything that wasn't cloud-based. So therefore, Xbox had to focus on that. By focusing on that, Phil Spencer got the Minecraft deal under his belt, which Terry Myerson signed off on, and they got the Game Pass integration rolling and rocking and rolling, which Terry Myerson signed off on. Period. That is it. That's how it works in a Fortune 500 company. That's how it happened here. If Terry Myerson was so goddamn rogue, again, why are they still relying on Terry's team for sales, HR, and marketing after Phil Spencer got his promotion? Stop it. Xbox, stop it. You're looking pathetic and spooky out here. Now, to go to the last myth, to cover the last myth about Terry Myerson, if you know, Terry Myerson has now been departed from Microsoft. And they're saying that he's been departed from Microsoft because of Xbox. Which can't be the furthest thing from the truth. Here's what happened. Terry Myerson was a Windows guy, right? He was a Windows guy. Because he was a Windows guy, Satya Nadella's been telling you for years and years and years, for the last few years, that he's no longer focused on Windows as a viable part of the business. He's trying to get away from it. All right? And here goes the report on Terry Myerson leaving and why he left. The actual reason. He no longer was responsible for Microsoft in September of 2017. There you go. September 2017. He's no longer let go of Microsoft. So because of all of his lying and stealing and all this other, or whatever, stealing money from Xbox budget, they wait till 6 months later to let him go. That's bullcrap. If that was the case, and Satya really doesn't care about the Windows brand, he would have got rid of Terry during this transition and would have gave Windows to somebody else. You don't keep somebody that's lying, stealing, and cheating on your executive board for 6 more months. No, it doesn't make any sense. Terry Myerson was let go because they're transitioning from Windows. And they can care less about Windows now. So Nadella explained over the past year, we have shared our vision for how the intelligent cloud and intelligent edge will shape the next phase of innovation. First, computing is more powerful and ubiquitous from the cloud at the edge. Second, AI capabilities are rapidly advancing across perception and cognition fueled by data and knowledge of the world. Third, physical and virtual worlds are coming together to create richer experiences and understand the context surrounding people, the things they use, the places they go, and their activities. This is what he had to say about Terry Myerson leaving. Not no Terry is cherished to all this other stuff. He's saying, we are going to the next level of my strategy, which is cloud, 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 cloud. I'm sorry, y'all. Cloud, 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 cloud. Also, Microsoft had Terry Myerson in charge of some Windows 10 integration where they wanted Windows 10 to become more service-based. All right. That's why they said, okay, you did a good job overseeing Xbox, fine, great, whatever, Terry. But now we really need your focus on Windows. Windows needs to become service-based. You know what I'm saying? So it can be part of our transition. Terry was tasked with that. There's some issue with some product line called Starlake and some things with Windows 10. And Starlake was in relation to some integration with the Surface notebooks. And Terry didn't oversee that. His oversight of that didn't go well. And it didn't happen. And first what Terry tried to do is he tried to blame Intel. And then it came to fruition that Intel wasn't involved, that it wasn't Intel's fault. So when it came to fruition that it wasn't Intel's fault, shortly after that, that's when Terry Myerson was begone. That's when you act on somebody that's not being fruitful and honest about what was going on. You act on it immediately. That's what CEOs do, especially CEOs like Satya Nadella. They don't wait 6 months. They don't wait 6 months. Like how some people want you to believe. After he has nothing to do with Xbox. They don't wait 6 months to make a move like that. They act on it immediately. Right before his firing, or whatever you want to call it, it was discovered that it wasn't Intel's fault for this whole Starlake thing, which Terry was responsible for, which was the line that they were toting. Once that came to fruition, Terry was gone. Period. Had nothing to do with Xbox. He did everything Satya wanted him to do for Xbox. So at the end of the day, my friends, here's what I need everybody to do. I want you to ask yourself 5 questions. Because we're overcomplicating this when it comes to this Terry Myerson thing. Let's break it down like this regarding Terry Myerson being the devil that tried to kill off Xbox. Question number 1. Who said before Terry was even in charge that Xbox was not his core business? Satya Nadella. Question number 2. Did not the same person who is the CEO approach all business models outside of the cloud business and say, show me that you should exist? Yes, he did. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on 1 second. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. All right, so question number 3. Did Terry Myerson also sign off on the biggest proponent of Xbox financial success? The Minecraft deal. Yes. Question number 4. Who said, in light of us not getting AAA bangers, that they personally do not believe in buying games? / was it Terry Myerson that said that? No. It was Phil Spencer. And I believe he said that after Terry was gone. They had a reflection piece where they needed Phil Spencer to talk about why they were not buying individual games, but focusing on franchises. And Phil said he didn't think it was important to do so. Meanwhile, the biggest time period of Xbox's success was the 360 era. When they did that, when they bought BioShocks, when they bought Mass Effects, some of the biggest games we've seen in the last few generations that changed the whole trajectory of the gaming business altogether. BioShock started its own genre, the action RPG. Those were some big games. We have not seen games that big this generation. Who said they no longer want to grab those games and bring them to the public in a steady pace? Phil, that's basically what he said. He could care less. Phil said that. Five, was Terry let go in March 6 months after he had nothing to do with Xbox over Xbox or Windows related stuff? It was over Xbox related stuff. So there you have it, people. All the myths have been disproven. All of the garbage has been thrown to the wayside. The truth is right there. Did Terry Myerson choke off Xbox funding? No. Alone? Maybe with a pen, yeah. He choked off funding for things that did not suit Satya Nadella's vision for the company, as Satya wanted him to. Hence the articles that I showed you from the very beginning of his tenure as CEO. Satya doesn't care about AAA games. He cares about games that can generate revenue via the cloud service. And as relevant right now as we talk about Crackdown, why we haven't seen Crackdown come to fruition. Crackdown has not come to fruition because they could not get the cloud integration of Crackdown to work the way that they wanted to. I'm not going to name any names, but somebody that says that they're close to Xbox, who originally said that people from my camp were dumb and suggesting that Crackdown was in trouble, but then later had to eat crow and finally admitted that what they saw from Crackdown was an enclosed network environment. Meaning that they did not see all this cloud technology come to fruition in an open network environment in which we were going to be playing in. And this same person had heard that when it was put in that open network environment, in the same way we would be playing the game, that the results are not stable because it's based upon the individual's internet service. And that's something that they had missed the mark on because they thought internet service would be better now. And it's not for everybody across the board, and it's not. So if with this cloud integration, if we could believe to see the AAA bangers anytime soon, then we would have seen at the very least Crackdown come to fruition when it was supposed to. And it's not because they're having problems with putting something that is AAA-esque, or, you know what I'm saying? You can say what you want about the cel-shaded technology, but there's a lot of AAA type stuff going on in Crackdown with that cloud technology and everything. And they can't make it work. But they can make work across the board, and when they're ready to flip that switch, they can make work a Sea of Thieves, even a State of Decay. They can make work. But something like a Crackdown that was on a AAA caliber, they can't make it work. Because they can't make it work, that's why it's being delayed. And they had to scale it back down, and we're not talking about the cloud anymore. And they don't need to because they met Satya Nadella's quota. Satya Nadella's quota is having a cloud-based service. And they have that with the success of Game Pass. Job done. Wrap it up. Package. Package it. Send it off. It's done. So if you answer the questions honestly, then we see that two of the biggest reasons why we're not seeing AAA bangers are still employed at Microsoft are still there. And it's not Terry Myerson. The only conclusion you could come to is Phil must be bumped down or just plain let go. Someone with a little more juice in the hardcore community needs to step forward. That is savvy enough to put together Satya's plan, because Satya's not going to go anywhere. Satya has grown the brand 250%, period. He's grown the brand 250% as far as the stock price is concerned. He's not going anywhere. With the little bit of, I don't want to say little bit, but with the output that is heavily outshined by PlayStation, PlayStation has 150% more output in the traditional gaming model, but they're not 150% more in revenue. Sony made $17 billion last year. Microsoft made $10 billion in the gaming division. That is hell of a close and a hell of a lot of money for having 150% less output. So at the end of the day, whether y'all agree with me about Phil, if you care about the AAA, look, if you think what's going on with Microsoft is fine, fine. I'm not here to judge anybody's opinion. That's not why I'm doing this. If you like Sea of Thieves or whatever, fine. I don't care. My issue is when we who want the AAA bangers, the sci-fi shooters and all other stuff, when we open our mouths and say, look, we've invested a lot into this console, into this ecosystem, we want to see what we want come to fruition, because what we want was what helped build this brand. When we come forward and then y'all mugs that are happy say to us, oh, just quiet it down, shut it up, it's coming, or the only reason why I wasn't there was because of Terry Myerson, then you have to, then the bullshit has to be brought to light. And that's what it is. And it's all been proven. Satya appointed Terry to oversee Xbox. The closest person that he was familiar with that he thought could oversee the brand. All Terry did was enforce Satya Nadella's game plan for Xbox. During that time period, two of the biggest deals in the Xbox brand's history came to fruition. The acquisition of Minecraft, Game Pass came to fruition. Terry had to sign off on those. Terry helped shine the light on Phil Spencer, mainly because he ain't want nothing to do with Xbox. He's a Windows guy. He's not going to sabotage the brand because that's a reflection on him. That's stupid. Y'all don't understand how Fortune 500 companies work. He is responsible for this business sector and he's going to sabotage it? That's a reflection on him. That's the term you hear all the time. That doesn't do well, or they don't do well. You're the manager of that process. That's a reflection on you. Terry just wasn't entertaining certain things that fit out of Satya Nadella's framework, because he knew when he went to Satya wasn't with it. Satya approached every business line and said, show me why you should exist. I've shown you time and time again, Satya's messaging has been disciplined over the past 4 years. It's all about cloud technology, cloud. So whatever you want to come to fruition, if it isn't embroidered in the cloud technology, he's not going to approve it. Period. That's why you saw State of Decay bump down from a AAA game to a AA game. Or a B game, whatever you want to call it. That's why in the heels of a God of War being released, they decided to compete with Sea of Thieves. Because this is Their entry into that cloud-based service, stuff that is easily portable to, as Satya always says, mobile, tablets, and PC. Where Terry Myerson fit into this? He was responsible for a group that he really didn't care for, but he was going to dig them into the ground. That's stupid. That absolutely makes no sense. Y'all need to get a job at a Fortune 500 company, work your way up the ranks, and then you'll understand why I'm excited over this stupidity. It's stupid. Terry Myerson was just putting into practice Satya Nadella's game plan. And under Satya Nadella's game plan, again, Minecraft and Game Pass, two of the biggest business acquisitions, and Havoc. Throw Havoc in there as well. Three of the biggest acquisitions for the Xbox brand occurred. Period. My man Bloody Knuckles says, MM2K, you're taking Phil's words way out of context and it's wrong. Phil did not say that at all. Alright, so here's the difficult part about all this. People often say that I take Phil's words out of context. But what Phil says is supposed to come to fruition never comes to fruition. So I'm a little confused on how I'm taking his words out of context. Phil said, "Hey, I'm not into buying games like how we did last generation because that's not lucrative. That's not lucrative for us." Hold on 1 second, y'all. Hold on. Sorry about that, y'all. Had to go answer the door. Okay. So, I'm a little confused. Again, when people say, I'm taking what Phil has said out of context. Phil said he doesn't like buying games. He doesn't like buying games individually like how they used to do. Kind of like the Tomb Raider deal. And the similar deals would be Mass Effect, BioShock, which were time exclusives. He wanted to make investments in franchises like how he's quote unquote doing with the 5 studios. But if I'm taking Phil's words out of context, there are opportunities for him with them on the heels of them making $10 billion in the gaming sector alone. There were more than plenty of opportunities for them to drop 150 million, something like that, to acquire a AAA game, right? And at least just show us a title or something like that. To have something come to fruition for the hardcore. Damn it, they can't even look. They can't even get Space Hulk Deathwing, which is prime for the Xbox brass. They can't even get that on the system. It reminds you of a BioShock on a spaceship. But I'm taking Phil's words out of line. Here's what you guys are hearing opposed to what I'm hearing. And then I'm gonna conclude in case anybody else has any more questions. Here's what y'all are hearing opposed to what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing is, what y'all are hearing is when Phil talks all this stuff, oh man, it's coming. All right, okay, great, it's coming, all right. Whether it comes to fruition or not. And I think a lot of you are hearing that because you're basing everything that you judged, your litmus, purely on not giving an inch to the Microsoft crowd. You don't want to say nothing negative about Phil because you think you're giving in to the not to the Microsoft crowd, to the Sony crowd. You think that if you say anything negative about Xbox, or you're being 100% transparent of that we've been lied to in a lot of cases. That we've been lied to. Because you don't want to give an inch in to the PlayStation brass. Here's why that's stupid. That's stupid because the PlayStation brass is always going to say negative stuff about Microsoft. Always. There's nothing you can do about it. Like a little ass dog, when you walk by a fence and a little ass dog jumps and, alarms you, and it's a little chihuahua, and you can step on this, there's nothing you can do that's gonna, even if you come and you kick that dog in the face, you jump up, the next day you come around that corner, that dog is gonna do the exact same thing. There's nothing you can do about it. So what do? You ignore the noise, and you keep going where you need to go. Y'all gotta learn, as Xbox enthusiasts, fanboys or whatever, to ignore that noise from the PlayStation crowd because they're just trying to get under y'all skin. And look at the things in totality and look at them from 5,000 feet. In 2016, we were told we were getting a AAA State of Decay, right? We were also told it was going to be the best gaming year ever coming in 2017, right? Then we were told that 2017 was going to be the greatest E3 ever, meaning you said that in the context of people complaining. So basically you were saying for the people complaining that it was going to be great for you because what you've been complaining about, you're going to see. And did that happen in 2017 for the people that were complaining, that were actually Xbox consumers? No. And this also was the biggest E3 ever. I mean, we keep hearing stuff like that all the time. Phil, is Crackdown coming? Is it ready? Yep. And it gets pushed. I mean, come on. I could go on. I can make this a 3-hour podcast. So y'all got to stop with this. You're taking Phil's words out of context. You want to believe the context that you want to believe. And that's fine. I'm going to go with what's tangible, what's in my hand. And brought it with my Fortune 500 experience because I deal with this every day. I deal with this, the smoke and mirrors talk. We call it the banker babble. Being that I deal with the banker babble on a daily basis, I see when someone's trying to blow smoke up my ass. Period. And that's what's going on here. And the latest thing that they're trying to entertain is that this Phil Myerson was at the center. Phil Myerson was at the center of Xbox woes in 2016. No. Was Terry Myerson going to entertain bringing a bunch of AAA titles to the system No, he wasn't, because his boss didn't want to entertain that. And if they had no way of ensuring that whatever business that was making money, or it fit under Satya's plan already explained and already cascaded to the teams, that they best not approach him with it. Hence why they came forth with the Minecraft deal that Terry signed off on as well. Henceforth why they came out with Game Pass, which Terry signed off on as well. So that's it, people. The Terry Myerson is the devil of all devils need to be put to bed. Put it to rest, throw it out the window. It absolutely makes no sense. And let's just hope, cross our fingers, pray, whatever you do, that there will be some AAA bangers that come out. What I'm looking for as a former Xbox enthusiast is basically, I am looking for Phil Spencer to understand, to know what he doesn't know. Phil is not a hardcore guy. Voodoo Vince, for crying out loud, is his favorite Xbox title. So if you have a bunch of people that you cannot connect to, apparently, crying out over your product, but yet you have to follow the tight line of your CEO Satya Nadella that has this vision that is very, very siloed and very anal, then it's just indicative of you as a leader, as an executive, to put on your big boy hat, put on your big boy pants, and you just got to tote that line. Leaders deal with difficult challenges every day. It's not for us to cry the blues for, oh, poor Phil, he was whipped in the corner in the fetal position with nothing but his party socks on. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. You're making the big boy money to handle the big boy situations. I'm not crying no tears for you, Phil. And what you need to do is very evident. You need to do better at embracing the hardcore. There has to be some hardcore voice within the senior leadership of Xbox that can help you kick the tires, as we say. It's an industry term. They help you kick the tires before things roll out. Because we the hardcore make the system, and we the hardcore can crash it too. Sony gets it. They got to satisfy their base. And I'm willing to say that maybe it's a little bit easier for them to do it. As long as they got Sony's tag on it, they're going to love it. They're going to love it or talk highly of it. And we're a little bit more challenging to satisfy. But this is the business that you decided to get into. You can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen. Y'all got a war chest big enough to satisfy what we need. So get to it, hop to it. And stop entertaining these excuses. It's sad enough when the Xbox fanboys are doing it. But for the simple fact that I think Phil did an interview and he was subliminally trying to blame Terry Myerson, man, please, stop it. Stop it. Because if you're going to blame Terry for Scalebound and Fable, then we're going to thank him solely. If you're going to blame him solely for Scalebound and Fable, then we're going to thank him solely for Game Pass and Minecraft. Period. It's the way that it goes. With that being said, I'm going to go to my chat. King Butch said, Gears only in-house game besides Forza built for X. No in-house AAA games coming till next gen. Gears 5 is supposedly coming, but I'm talking about new innovative stuff. Gears was last gen, and I'm not the biggest Gears fan. I jumped on the bandwagon because Microsoft or Xbox was bringing out new, fresh experiences. They were willing to take those risks and new, fresh experiences, AAA experiences regularly. We saw a fresh, brand new AAA IP like at least once a year coming from them. And we don't have that now. So if that's it, I'm going to close out with this. Phil, I personally don't feel that you're the man up to task. To me, you're a yes man. But even I, as a leader, nowhere as big as you, I've had to learn to be a little bit more stern and a little bit more shrewd in my management skills. I've been managing for 20 years. I've managed managers in that tenure. I've had to acquire development teams, IT teams. I knew nothing about that, and I had to teach, self-teach myself. You know what I mean? I had to go up the task, pay for my own course, do that while I'm still doing my other job. You know what I'm saying? Come home, practice it. Now I understand how that stuff works. I get it. You're in a very difficult position, Phil. But you just can't be the yes man. You can't just check off the list. Is my boss happy? Is my boss happy? You got to toe that line, bro. You got to figure out how to keep them AAA games coming. Just take a look back at the previous generations. Take a look back at the previous generations and see how often the new innovative AAA titles have come out. And then if you got to do it, you got to do it. Then you just got to tack on a service-based element. That's fine. The people at Bioware had the same challenge. How are we going to make Mass Effect 3 a multiplayer game? Holy cow. Man, that had to rack their brain forever. And what did they do? They made it happen. And it was one of the best multiplayers of that generation. Made Mass Effect 3 one of the best games ever. That's talent. That's innovation. And that's savviness from its leaders. To toe the line and make something very difficult come to fruition and benefit for everybody. And on the heels of that, Phil, a lot of people are leaving BioWare. Pick them up. There's a lot of smarts there. Pick them up. They had to deal with EA. That's a very difficult situation. And they had to make good games still come to fruition, even though dealing with EA. Pick them up. Know what you don't know, Phil. To expand on the brand. Not change it so much, but expand it. Keep us at your foundation, because can't nobody do that mindshare and capture mindshare like we can the hardcore. You got to understand that. You either rise and shine, Phil, or you crash and burn. And that's it from your boy MM2K. Appreciate all of y'all joining me. This is a little bit longer than I expected. Let me go over the chat. My man King Butch. My man Bloody Knuckles. Big ups to Bloody Knuckles coming through. Your Game Streaming came through. Xavier Bay with his damage control. Wrath of the Emperor. Utonde, the finest, the almighty. Big ups to everybody. I appreciate all of y'all. Follow your boy. Follow my links, all the other stuff. And as always, hey, I hated to do this, man. Get off the Terry Myerson bandwagon. And you all have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day.